reason I decided to start this project is because I wanted to give my students a real-life world application on how the things that they're learning in school can apply to real life. I think it's vital to not only implement students with textbook data or with textbook words, but also how they can apply it into a clinical sense with real-life people, real-life data, real-life patients. As a former patient care technician, doing phlebotomy work and doing all of these different research analysis, working together as a team for a respective patient is vital. And I think this research project shows that, and it really implements that. What these medical assistants now are gonna go and take from the school is not only textbook application, but real life application, because they've done it. They've gained this experience and the new goals, the new changes completely, because it's not only, oh, I read it on a textbook, but oh, I did it in real life in Mr. Tamayo's research project where we covered red blood cell morphology. I'm very passionate about the medical science field due to it being a big effect on my childhood. Throughout my childhood, we went through a very serious case of a cancer disease with my grandma and some of my uncles and aunts, and it rooted a need to help others. And that's what medicine is all about, and that was where the foundation of medicine came from. How can you help somebody else? I feel like the reason that I'm so passionate about medical science, and not only that, but passionate about helping others, and I'm finding a way through education to be able to help these kids, is rewarding. It's giving me a sense of we're doing something, we're actually having action to change the world, to change the school, to change kids' lives, and to even be able to save people and help other people in the future. I think the biggest problem we had is just setting up the logistics. So this was my first own independent research project where I was the lead of the whole entire project in general, I guess the director we would call it. Coming up with certain logistics on how, for example, how HIPAA would work, how OSHA would work. Here we're working with needles, we're working with real life blood samples, we're working with real life patients, real life data. We have to be very careful on, like I said, HIPAA violation, OSHA violation, anything that could harm anybody, well, including the students that are being the medical assistants or the students that are coming in to get the actual phlebotomy done on them, or even real life patients from outside volunteers. Coming up with certain logistics on how it would work has been one of the biggest challenges, because this is how a real facility works outside of the school. Another big problem that my students did have was gaining confidence. And this goes for anything they do, whether it's medical science, whether it's being a welder, a construction person, anything outside of the medical field, just being a general person. I think this is a big issue now in society. Gaining the confidence to go out there and do something that you might have never been able to. A big deal here that I've shown students is to not doubt themselves. It's the fact that most of these students lack a certain amount of confidence and doubt themselves into the point where, am I gonna poke right? Am I gonna aim to the vein right? Am I gonna be able to take out blood? Am I gonna forget a step? Am I gonna do something wrong? Am I gonna get in trouble? Am I gonna do this? Am I gonna do that? All of those thoughts come with a sense of fear of doubting, right? They're doubting their sense of what am I able or what am I capable to do right now. And I feel like that was one of the major reasons I also founded this project, to be able to have these kids develop confidence to when they get to their clinical real world experience, they can say, hey, you know what, I've already encountered this problem. So the students can just go with a mindset of what can I do more? What can I do better? What can I grow from? Because at the end of the day, it's not about failing, but it's about what you learn from the fail. And the possibility and the idea that these high school students, because these are high school students, are getting some of the level of undergrad students, even graduate students from other places and even other countries. I think it's rewarding to me, it's a blessing to me, but it's also a huge blessing to the students, because it's allowing them to get a higher level of education than what they're receiving here at the high school.
I was in my school's medical assistant class, and Mr. Tama was always very involved and coming in to help us, whether it be with poking or just an everyday class. He came in and he told us about his struggle finding a job, especially right after graduating as an MA. It's very competitive in this field, so he wanted to help us, and that's exactly what he did with this program. He helped us gain experience and get more involved and have more experience with interacting with patients, practicing HIPAA, poking, and overall education, and I'm very grateful for this opportunity. Honestly, at first I didn't want to. I had basketball, which was a lot of pressure on me. I usually had to not skip practice, but I had to cut practice to come. My friends slowly started not coming day by day, and I realized that it took a lot of discipline and consistency to be able to stay. And overall, it was very beneficial because I was able to learn new techniques, how to interact with patients and different types of patients, how to practice HIPAA and look under a microscope. All those different techniques were very beneficial to me after. I slowly realized that it was my senior year, and it was towards the last semester. That's one of the reasons why a lot of my friends weren't staying. I had to stay consistent and I had to stay dedicated to this program because it was so beneficial towards me, not only for experience, but for education overall. And it was a lot of fun. I'm glad I stayed. I'm grateful that I had the opportunity. Thankfully for this program, it not only helps with experience, but it also helps with confidence and overall education. I hopefully will want to continue working as an MA and want to go to school to be an ultrasound technician.